Someone who likes transgender men is gay. That's clear, right? If you like someone, if you put a wig on a man, it's a man with a wig on. And if you like those type of men, you're gay. And of course, if the man looks like a woman, but you like transgender women, but the man looks like a woman, so then why don't you just get a woman? Because a woman does not have the thing that you actually want, which is a penis. You get my point? If you like transgender women, you could just get a woman. They look the same, right? They both got long hair, makeup, breasts, dresses. But why do you want a transgendered woman? Because you like women, you like how they look, but they don't have penises, and that's what you want. You need a penis because you're a homosexual man, all right? I learned this week that homosexual might be a word that YouTube is banning from YouTube now, homosexual. And you're gonna have to use gay. I can remind me of that in the council. We'll try to look at that and see if that's actually happening. But they're banning people on YouTube for saying homo or homosexual, and you have to say gay to be on YouTube. You understand, all right? So now, Malik Yoba came out this week. He said he prefers the penis on those transgender men. And also some football player did it this week. And it's a pretty common thing. That cowboy hat cat, the one with the rap song, Little Nas X, right? He said that he also likes penis. He's also a gay man. And that happened this week. And of course, it can make you think that this is a wave in society with gays, right? Listen to me carefully. There are no more gays now than there ever was. It's the same amount of gays that it has always been back in the 70s. 2,000 years ago, there is no difference at all. Here's the difference. You, just like you always have, believe that what you see celebrities do is what we all should do. And it makes a gay man feel comfortable about saying it as opposed to hiding it. Is that special? It is not special. I'll show you where else they did it at. This is in Rome. What do we have here?
Saint Genesis of Rome.
Hold this one. Give me the other one. This is Saint Genesis. This is a woman that's venerated in the Catholic Church because she was an actress. At this time in Rome, to be an actress was something that even the Romans thought was too immoral to be, because actors and actresses always lived a terribly, terribly immoral life. Even back in ancient Rome, they were doing it. And in Rome, they were having orgies like it was nothing. But an actor, he was worse. Even Romans thought that whoever is an actor just does terrible gay things. Horrible in public gay things. I'll show you. Read that, please.
Actors in Roman society. While the ancient Greeks idolized actors as the interpreters of great comedies and tragedies.
A comedy back then is not like a comedy today. A comedy is something that where at the end the hero doesn't die. In a tragedy, at the end the hero does die, and people were either played in comedies or they played in tragedies, right? Keep going. Romeo and Juliet would be a tragedy because Romeo and Juliet died. Taming of the Shrew would be a comedy. Those are two Shakespearean plays because they don't die at the end. Keep going.
Of the Greek poets and writers, Romans had a different, less respectful view. In the terms of social standing, actors were considered to be the same level as laborers or slaves. Indeed, many actors were either slaves in service to a manager of a company or free slaves who, having bought their freedom, joined a company of performing players.
Skip down to the other one. So now actors in Rome were not looked at as people that were high in society. They were looked at like slaves, and a lot of them were slave actors, meaning their slave master forced them to act. I need to wonder about their morality. Is this it?
I believe so. It's talking about the new sexual act.
Yes, that's what I mean.
And lifestyle, Roman actors did not enjoy a good reputation, and their morals challenged even the decadence of Roman society.
Yikes, you hear that? Their morals challenge even the decadence of Roman society. You got to be nasty if Rome thought you were nasty. They were nasty, Roman actors back then. That's how they were. Why? Because Roman theater owners are trying to get the masses of the people to buy tickets. And people respond to filth and lewdness. You get my point? People don't want to be educated and want to learn what's right. People respond to their base nature. And so plays and actors were the kind of people to just highly promote whatever made you have an orgasm, whatever people couldn't talk about in civilized society. They made it commonplace because that filled the stadium up with people to come see the sex on stage. And actors are no different today. Singers are no different today. They're the exact same way they've always been. They were considered nasty even for Rome. They were considered nasty. Keep going.
Their performances could be lewd, highly sexual, and offensive, even going as far as to appearing naked on stage and engaging in sexual acts.
My God. And in Rome, they looked at an actor like, this cat ain't nothing. This cat is a slave being forced to go up there and have sex. That's Malik Yoba. There's so many actors, and you look at them and wonder why they're dressed like that. This is why Nicki Minaj is dressed like that. This is why Cardi B is dressed like that. Not because she thinks in her head, how should I dress? This is how I decided to dress. She is dressing the way she has to dress to get people to see it, to get people to come to this concert, and that's the way it was in Rome. That's why that other one with that tail bouncing all around, what's her name? She's new. I forget her name. That was I might have bought a ticket to that one last week. But mind your business. But that one, she also is another nasty one that, of course, is doing what she has to do to get people to watch. And actors and actresses have always been immoral. Always. Why? Because, read my mind, because people like it. People like immorality. And they're giving people what they want. So now, as when Malik Yoba says he's homosexual, when Lil Nas X, it'll be somebody else next week, somebody you look up to, somebody you thought was so manly, somebody you thought was just, someone to idolize. And you will be disappointed because in actuality, all they were ever doing was doing and saying whatever someone else wants to hear them do and say. That's it. So the minute gays become popular, everybody will become gay. The minute getting naked on stage is popular, every rapper will get naked. They'll do it because they're selling tickets. They're not trying to raise your kids. The problem with you is you look at entertainers as role models, as people to raise your children and people to idolize, when even in Rome, they knew that these people were absolutely disgusting. You can't idolize a performer because his performance is solely based in what most people will like. You understand? He's not giving you the thing you should do. He's giving you the thing you want to do. So because of that, you cannot idolize him. You cannot look up to him. You can't be heartbroken if your rapper wears a purse. Why in the hell wouldn't he wear a purse? Why? Because he's some great man of understanding? He's wearing a purse. Who can guess why rappers wear a purse? Because some purse maker said, I'll give you money if you wear this purse. Done. That's it. Why is he wearing a dress? Because someone who makes dresses said, will you wear a dress? Of course I will. What in the hell are you disappointed about? He's not your father. And you can't look for people to be your goddamn daddy on TV because they might end up wearing a purse up. They might end up in a dress. They might end up liking the penis. They might end up liking it. So what will this force you into doing? It will force you into finding actual, real role models. The real kind. Not the kind who dance and sing and act. but someone who is an actual, real role model. And thank the Most High, Yahweh, Yahushua, that we have Commanding General Yohanan, who is an actual, real, straight up and down role model. He don't rap, he don't act, and he don't dance. All he does is live a life to be led and to live a life that you can live by. He lives as an example that everyone should follow so that everyone could be like Christ. And this is the way it always has been. And it will not change. It will stay this way. Where did these same entertainers take their performance? Into church. They took their performance in the church. Why must the church, the people in church, be gay? And why must they promote homosexuality? Because people like it. That's it. They're trying to fill up the seats. If you got a 25,000 seat arena that you call a church, can you imagine the rent, the mortgage on this place? You know what they need, right? People in the seats. Who puts people in the seats? The same kind of people that always did. Deviants, and immoral people. They put people in the seats because they're flashy and they give people what they want, which is lewd sexualness, which brings everybody into the room. And that's Malik Yoba, and that's all the goddamn rest of it. And of course, the Christian church is handicapped to even do anything about it, because the minute a Christian says, well, that's against the law of God, Malik Yoba, what can Malik Yoba say? So is eating pork. So is eating shrimp. So is voting. So is loving your enemy instead of loving the enemy of your own people. Malik Yoba can always push the hypocrisy that any Christian will have to say Malik Yoba is wrong. You cannot say Malik Yoba is wrong if you are breaking every law in the Bible except for homosexuality. You can't say anything about it because you're not better than him. Precept. It's in the New Testament. Come on. Daniel.
In the book of James, where it says, if thou don't murder, but
thou dost covet. Pull it for me though, please. Give him a hand. That's the precept. And this is why at times like this, the Christians can't do anything about Malik Yoba or Little Nas X. Even though you'll have a great many Christians that will know it's wrong. It's wrong to be gay. No Christians teach it's wrong to be gay. They teach it in the same church where there's gays everywhere. They teach it's wrong to be gay, and they just chalk it up to everybody failing in the body of Christ, and we're all trying, but we fall short. You can't chastise a sinner when you are a sinner. Give me the precept. Let me know what you got.
The book of James, chapter 2, verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the
So I read through this, let me know if I need to read more. There's more pertinent information. Go ahead.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
You understand that? Whosoever shall keep the whole law but offend in one point, you're guilty of all, meaning guilty of offending in all of the points in the Bible. And that's why even a Christian that knows Malik Yoba is wrong, what the hell can you do? So eventually, what does every Christian just come up with? Well, we all fall short. We can't judge anybody. So now Malik Yoba is going to teach your feminine son to embrace the sin in his mind instead of fighting it. You're going to have to fight it. If you have homosexual thoughts in your head, because I can guarantee you Malik Yoba has been molested. That's almost a 9 out of 10 guarantee that he's been molested, just like Tyler Perry. And according to the studies from the CDC, 8 out of 10 homosexuals or gay people have been molested. That is their study, 8 out of 10. And guess what? That 2 out of 10 was lying. They lied to the person doing the study. It's one, even Malik Yoba himself, some young transgender boy came out and said he tried to have sex with him. Pull that up. some underage boy dressed up like a goddamn girl said Malik Yoba tried to have sex with him because Malik Yoba is obviously a molested child. So now, if your molested child turns on TV and goes, oh, Malik Yoba is embracing it. Oh, it's good for me too. If he looks at Malik Yoba like a role model, then he is going to die in some opioid house in Kensington, dressed up like a goddamn street walking whore. He's not going to be on New York Undercover. He's going to die in an alleyway with a mini skirt on. When you can't look at Malik Yoba like he is someone who I am disappointed in when he's found out to be a sinner, because I didn't think anything of him to begin with. That's where you have to have your head when it comes to actors and actresses. You got to think nothing of him anyway. I'm not modeling myself after him. What do I care if the cat on New York Undercover likes penises? I assume they all do. Anyway, I just assume they all gay. Why? Because I run my house and my children do what I do, not Malik Yoba. My children don't do what Charles Barkley does. My children don't do what Dennis Rodman does or Jay-Z. I am the role model in my house. And if you can do that, then now you can teach your son, listen, I know Malik Yoba does it, but I'm your role model, and Malik Yoba is gay, and there will be no gays in this house. None. You got some silly demon in your head, I'll show you how to get it right out of you. Don't worry. That thing will be gone in a bit. Don't sweat it. I'll help you out with that. I'll help you with anything in your mind that has you thinking that you should do something evil. Some little children are firebugs. They want to light matches and set everything on fire. Right? What do? Do you say, well, he's born like that. He's born to love the fire. That's what he does. So we let him set houses on fire whenever he wants. We take him places so he can burn things up. Now, if your kid likes matches, you better never catch him with a goddamn pair of matches. Isn't that what any good parent would do? If your child likes to start fires, what do? You make sure that little bastard doesn't ever hold a pair of matches in his hand. You go in and do some parenting, brother. Do some parenting. If you think your child is feminine, don't let him live his life like Malik Yoba. You get in there and you be the role model to your family. You be the role model in your nation. What we have right here? Morale? Go ahead and read it.
I got the ignoble.
Now I'll finish the precept. Go ahead.
The ignoble position of Roman actor or Slovakia. I got the other one for you too. Slovakia. Over time, the public eventually lost interest in the memes and counter memes, preferring that gladiatorial games and chariot.
1 second, let me break that down for you. Mimes is that word, right?
Mimes.
Mimes and pantomimes. A mime is, of course, that one that makes all those, things. I forget what a pantomime is. Pantomime might talk a little bit, but a mime does not talk at all. And a pantomime, I think, dresses up in the white makeup, but might talk a little bit, but I can't recall. You can look that up. So they got tired of the mimes and the pantomimes. Go ahead.
Preferring gladiatorial games and chariot spectacular.
Oh, so then what happened? So then the minute people stopped liking acting, they started liking what? Sports. So now everyone idolizes the people in the gladiatorial games. Now they idolize them. And then, of course, what do you find out? That the gladiators are gay. And your athletes are gay. And your children idolize them because you don't teach them to idolize you and to behave like you, walk like you, talk like you, eat what you eat. You get your behavior from the Most High, and then you give that behavior to your children. Or else they'll behave like Lil Nas X and Malik Yoba and some football player who has a white boyfriend. Everybody understands. Anything else?
Oh, I can skip down to the last part.
Do you think?
It wasn't until the Middle Ages that the theater would again capture the hearts of the Romans with the emergence of Bible plays, and later in the Renaissance with the revival of Greek and Roman tragedy.
Now here we go. Now that goes into that Saint Genus. Give me that woman. She was a woman who was a terrible woman according to history, having sex with this white man, but then she reformed herself. And I'll explain that to you and then we'll move on. That same one, St. Genus, read it again. Or is that Genesis? Is that Genesis? All right, go ahead.
Look like it says Genesis.
Good enough. Go ahead.
Genesis of Rome is a legendary Christian saint, once a comedian and actor who had performed in plays that mocked Christianity. According to
what does it mean to mock Christianity? Meaning, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is mocking the truth. You understand? Like someone dresses up like a woman and is gay and all that. They're mocking the law that says you cannot dress up like a woman and you cannot be gay. Any movie you see where people are doing things that the Bible says not to do, they're making a mockery of God. They're saying that God said not to do it, but look at us selling all of these drugs. That's a mockery of the truth. Any song about drug dealing, any song about having sex with another man's wife, that's a mockery of God's law. They're saying, I do have sex with men's wives. I do have sex. I don't care if she has a man. That's a mockery of God's law. And that's what this woman was doing. Why? Because that's what everyone did at that time. They mocked the law. They mocked what Christ was teaching at that time, because Christ was, of course, teaching everyone to follow the law. And what's in place? Orgies. Men dressed like women, which is a mockery of this man who's going around saying we should not be immoral. We should raise our standard and be better people. But the play that's in the city is a man dressed like a woman with an orgy on stage. That's your entertainment today. Your entertainment today is a mockery of God's law. This woman was a woman who was doing the same thing. Keep going. Any song about strip clubs is a mockery of God's law. Any movie where there's a movie where men are homosexual having a good time and you're laughing at it and you think it's funny that this molested child grew up to be a funny black man in a dress. You're so cruel, you don't know what that man had to go through to be comfortable in a dress at 35 years old. You have to be molested at 7 years old. But you don't care about that because they give you entertainment at 35 years old. For that man to wear that dress and be so funny at 30, he had to have sex with a grown man at 10. And there's nothing funny about that. Keep going.
Oh, God. According to the legend, while performing in a play that made fun of baptism, he had an experience on stage that converted him.
This is not the woman. This is another one. Hold on. Keep going. This might be the one.
He proclaimed his new belief and steadfastly refused to renounce it, even when the emperor Diocletian ordered him to do so.
So Diocletian, this is not in the Bible, of course. This is throughout history. This story where this brother, when they were mocking baptism, he began to say baptism, which is washing when you're unclean. He began to decide that this was wrong. And he learned that this was wrong, even though the emperor at that time told him to renounce it. He refused to renounce it, and he came into the truth at that time. Give me another one. It's another one who was Nero's concubine.
Go
ahead.
I'm pulling for you right now, sir. In Greece, actors had enjoyed a position of eminence and respect, but in Rome, their conditions was mean and contemptible.
You gonna go up there, man? So,
I'm gonna skip down if I could. The church, while condemning the obscenities perpetuated in the name of art, often fought for the enactment of laws which should release these unhappy slaves of cruel but voluptuousness. There were rules designed to regulate the movements.
Skip down to the one who was Nero's concubine. All of that you got to read. I can get the link from Morale. This is an excellent excerpt from an excellent book about Rome and actors in Rome and athletes in Rome. And you'll see it's just the same exact thing as it is today. It does not change. What is the point you should get from all of this? We're reading now about two people. You have it yet? Nero's concubine? Go ahead, quickly.
The famous actor, at one time a favorite concubine of the Emperor Nero, was an actress in the mime.
Now, Nero is the emperor that killed James. He killed James. Keep going. She was a famous what?
Actress in the mime.
The meme. Yeah, mime. That's correct. It's like memes. Mimes. Keep going.
Tradition has it that she was converted through the teachings of St. Paul.
Now, tradition says, meaning in history, it says that she learned from Paul. Paul started to teach her, and because she was learning from the Apostle Paul, she changed. Keep going.
That she was banished by the emperor.
Keep going.
And after that, and after his death.
I think that's it for that. All right. So now, what does that tell you? What's the point of all of this? Instead of you looking up to Jay-Z, Jay-Z should look up to you. And that is the kind of world you have got to create. You cannot create a world where you look up to Jay-Z and think Jay-Z is just the perfect example of a black man in society who's strong and made it, because then when he goes and he betrays you and he is proven a sellout, now you're a heartbroken little girl. Because Jay-Z broke your heart. Jay-Z broke your damn heart. You go, oh, Jay-Z, no, not you. Not you, Jacob. No, I thought you loved black people. Why? Because of raps, songs? You gotta stop. You gotta find role models that aren't on TV that white people pay for. You gotta do it. You're gonna have to look to the street for your role models. You're gonna have to look to the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. That's what this sister did. This sister did that. This sister was in those books. She was a mime doing the same evil filth that Cardi B and all of the other whores that claim to be rappers do today. But then she heard the truth. She heard the truth and she changed and she began to look up to Paul. Everybody understands? Don't idolize Malik Yoba. You live a life to make Malik Yoba idolize you. And with that, pass the class over to Police Officer Daniel.
Welcome, young. ISUPK security announcement. We at the ISUPK started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Roll for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted home. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will report each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will give permission from the head to marry. Charge was the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10 means 10th in Hebrew. My Asherah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you. Give to the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, memorial blowing of the trumpets, which is Saturday, September 28th. If any brother wants to be a trooper, start to wear all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I imagine, which means stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Yahweh Sar, which means turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to get a sister one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shamar, Yahweh Yahweh class dismissed. I'm sorry. Not tomorrow. I'll be cash out too, right? That's too long. Oh, okay. So,